Senior fellow at Policy Exchange and former number 10 special advisor on welfare to 3 prime ministers, started with Jean-André and asked him if he were encouraged by what we're hearing of the government's plans for welfare so far.
I think everyone appreciates the challenge that the government faces in terms of the public finances and the spiralling cost of health and disability benefits. I think the main challenge that I would like to see from the government is a kind of change in narrative to this approach, and that is to try and focus on to try and make sure these benefits become more enabling benefits. And that is to say that right now, the work capability assessment and PIP focuses on what you cannot do rather than maybe what you can do. And I think there needs to be a kind of fundamental change in how we think about these benefits and their binary nature. So either you receive additional financial support or you do not. And I think we need to actually look at it far more holistically. And so, while I think I totally appreciate the challenge the government is in, I think we need to have a much broader conversation about these benefits. It shouldn't just be seen in the light of savings.
Okay. So you're saying beyond the desire to reduce the welfare bill, which is going to reach something like £100 billion by 2030, you're talking about what, a moral crusade almost? What are you saying?
Yes, exactly. That would be totally how I would phrase it. I think it is a moral crusade. I think these benefits, they are purely binary. Either you get financial support or you do not, and they focus around what someone cannot do. And I think it incentivizes the wrong types of behavior, and we need to get away from that. And, while many of the things that are cited about what the government might do, they don't actually fundamentally change the conversation there. And I totally understand where the chance is coming from, because when you need to make savings in this space, you normally end up with fairly crude measures. But I would hope we could have a much more serious conversation. I mean, as you've mentioned, the bill has risen drastically, and it's risen drastically since COVID, and in particular amongst young people in particular. And I think we need to take some broader actions to try and combat that.
Right. Avni, I note in your statement this week that you're concerned about a cuts-first approach. That sounds a bit like what Jean-André is saying. The narrative needs to change. How would you change it?
Thanks, Henry. And before I start agreeing